Yo, what's going on, guys? And we just saw Derrick White have a clutch performance as they just beat the Miami Heat in the conference finals rematch, which you guys got to say, O'Shea Brissett had that hammer dunk. But I think one of the interesting things when you think about this team, you got yourself Kristaps Porzingis, Derrick White, Drew Holiday, different types of defenders, 119 to 111. If you look at this team just from a statistical standpoint, they shot 47% from the field as well as 16 of 39 from three, going 41%, and they only got to the free throw line 19 times, which is absurd to think about because of how good that this team has been in previous seasons in terms of getting to the free throw lines with guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. My apology, I just made a video on Jaylen during little free ad right there. Go check that video out because it's definitely going to be one that's going to be interesting to see. But that's self-plug there. Maybe like and subscribe while you're there. Either way, they won the rebounding battle 55 to 45, and we saw Kristaps Porzingis reject Bam Adebayo, as well as we saw the Boston Celtics go out, get 20 assists, and they didn't even have the most assists. Okay, this was a game that if you looked at it from the team stats, actually the Miami Heat maybe played more sound basketball, but Derrick White had 14 points in the clutch, 28 points total. Okay, went to the free throw line 6 times, was 9 of 15 from the field, and those 14 points in the clutch were huge. Like, not even, like, I can't even describe how important it was for him to come in and be there, because you had a guy in Drew Holiday had 17, Kristaps Porzingis 17, Jason Tatum 22, you got also Derrick White 28, and Jaylen Brown 27. The bench, okay, nothing. And we knew this was going to be something. Okay, O'Shea Brissett, he had a cool dunk. Cool. We all knew O'Shea Brissett wasn't going to give you volume scoring. I mean, at this point, if I was Joe Mazzulla, I'm putting Svi Mykhailiuk in the bench lineup, because I know Svi Mykhailiuk is at least going to be taking volume shots. I just paid Payne Pritchard money, like $30-something million, just to give me 3 points in 13 minutes. Not really what you want to see at all. The fact that Derrick White, who I don't think should be in the starting lineup, especially if the bench is going to play like this, I think you got to think about maybe moving Al Horford, who went 0 of 6 from the field. 0 of 6, ladies and gentlemen. He did grab 10 rebounds, had 2 assists, but 0 of 6 from the field. You got to move him in the starting lineup. At least if he goes 0 of 6, it'll be next to Kristaps Porzingis. And Derrick White's at least going to help run the second unit. And I think that's definitely going to be, fun to watch, or like to see what's going to become of this team. They're 5 players heavy, but they're not like necessarily deep with their bench. Their bench is going to be something that I think is going to be a work in progress all year. But if you have a guy like Derrick White who's going to be able to drop 28 points, I think just moving the bench, put Al Horford's the simplest solution. I thought that was going to be the starting lineup to begin with. But Boston starts the season 2-0. The team, when it gets the Heat, last year they split their 4 meetings. This year they get the first game. And of course, we all remember the Miami Heat went in through the playoffs, took a 3-0 lead. Then Boston came back, erased the 3-0 lead, and then lost in Game 7. But neither team led by more than 5 points in this game, which was unreal at any of the first 3 periods. So as both teams shot near 50% from the field, and there were 6 ties, 6 leads changed, and we saw Tyler Hero drop 28 points, Bam Adebayo 27, Jimmy Butler had only 14. Like, this was a game that did go back and forth, and it was a closely contested game. But I definitely found it exciting how the defense that was played, okay, because a turnover by Derrick White gave Miami the ball, but it was the fact that Boston kept coming back, and I think they showed more grit than they did in the past, as I think emotionally their emotional intelligence in the past, I think, got the best of them. And having a guy like Drew Holiday and Derrick White's already there, but having Drew, I think, keeps them keen on their senses and allows them to know that, okay, look, we got some guys that we can rely on, and that we can, lean upon, even if Jason isn't, his shots aren't falling, or if he's double teamed, or if Jalen can't drive or get a good shot. We know that Derrick White, if called upon, can step up. Kristaps Porzingis likewise. Jrue Holiday likewise. And I think the biggest thing is their size. Last year, it was weird to say this. Last year, when they played the Miami Heat, they looked smaller. And I would never say the Miami Heat are a bigger team. They're not. But I felt like when they played them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, the Celtics felt like the smaller team. At least the way that they threw around their size, the way they threw around their weight. I just thought for a team as good as they were, and if you looked at the measurements of the players they had, the Celtics were the bigger team on paper. And it wasn't the case if you looked at the end box scores of that series. Now, they bring in Kristaps Porzingis. Starting center is 7'3". The original unicorn, coined by Kevin Durant. Backup center in this game is 6'10" Al Horford. That already, I think, makes things different. We've seen it through 2 games. You got yourself now Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derrick White's 6'4", Jrue Holiday 6'4" on a good day. Marcus Smart's also 6'4", so you don't really lose size there. And again, I think the only concern through 2 games right now is the bench, which sucks. But I think there's way worse things if you're a basketball fan to be concerned about. And that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you're a Boston Celtics fan, which my dad is, we went to MIT, and his roommate's dad worked for the Boston Celtics front office, so he used to go to Boston Celtics game all the time. That's why, he's a huge Larry Bird guy, my father. And I think a lot of people see, first off, Derrick White's scary looking with the ball head, but it kind of just came to mind while I was going through that personal anecdote. But I think when you look at this, that feeling that my dad had when he was going to see the Boston Celtics in the 80s, of knowing you have a championship team every year, is back. And we had a brief 3-year window in 2008 to 2011. That was nice. But now with the bald assassin, I can't stand how Derrick White looks. Derrick White also looks like he kind of is gonna take you into the closet and whack your shit around and be like, what's this about? What's this about? What's this about? And there's gonna be a bunch of, also that block on Jimmy Butler was insane, but there's gonna be a bunch of candy related games or board games Sorry and Candyland and Yahtzee that pertain to the situation. But either way, it's for anyone who's experienced being molested is probably not a good bit. But that's basically my thoughts on that. I don't know. I'm also waiting for the perfect time to screenshot this. Derrick White, another thing to think about. Derrick White, combo guard, point guard, what would you say he is? Is he a guy that you can do both? I wouldn't also say he's the guy you necessarily want running your offense, but he's definitely a guy that if called upon could run your offense. I'm curious. Besides that, that's my thoughts. So hit that comment, subscribe. Derrick White with the bald head is scary and frightening, and that's a really good Halloween costume if you guys haven't thought of one, being Derrick White. Just shave your head. I've also wanted to say this before we go. Shaving your head, on the name of shaving your head, that looks not fun, okay? Having to continuously shave your head, because if you don't continuously shave it, it's patchy or whatever, if you have alopecia. So that just seems like shaving your head creates a lot more problem. I think it's better than having the horseshoe, but that's definitely just my opinion on that one. But yeah, let me hear what you guys think. That's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Comment, subscribe. do all that good jazz. And we're on the way to 20,000. We're almost there. It's awesome. Feel good about it. Bye bye.